I'm gonna prove to you why white people are the reason I'm fat today.
Okay, personal responsibility is pretty hard. I mean, I totally get it, okay? It means taking blame for some of the stuff that actually happens to you. Now, I'm an expert at dodging responsibility. I'm the type of guy to play Clash Royale for 5 hours a day. And then at the end of the day, when I didn't get much stuff done, I'd be like, you know, the earth is rotating 5 times faster today. Not my fault. But today we look at the mother of all arguments, okay? This will get Socrates crawling out of his tombstone to dispute some of the rock-hard facts we got here. This lovely woman over here is claiming that the only reason that she's fat is because of white people. Nothing to do with her. In fact, she can't control it at all.
I'm gonna prove to you why white people are the reason I'm fat today. If white people didn't go looking for spices, then various sea routes to Indian subcontinent and Africa and other places of the world would not get discovered. And if they didn't get discovered, then East India Company would never come to Indian subcontinent.
It's really like this woman was presented with two options, you know? Take accountability, or let's go back 100 years, you know, scrape through history and find some way to blame it on other people.
And if they didn't come, then the fertility of the land would not get destroyed because they forced us to cultivate tobacco and dyes and opioid, things like that, and that destroyed the fertility of my country.
I like how she says us. They forced you to cultivate stuff. Interesting. I don't recall you being alive several hundred years ago. Now, she also talks about the fertility of her country, which I don't know how that has anything at all to do with you being fat today. Like, how does that affect you today? Are you saying that you didn't have access to food because of you didn't have fertile crops or something? Because once again, I don't know if my eyes are deceiving me, but it seems you have a steady supply of food. You know, I'm no fortune teller or anything, but I think I can probably make the educated guess that of all the food options in front of you, you probably opted for the delicious and yummy food instead of the healthy and nutritious food, which may have led to the predicament you're in today. Now, I've been trying to get into fitness recently, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the only thing that affects your weight is your calories in and your calories out. So if you got more calories in than you're burning, you're gonna gain weight. This simple as it is. Nothing really to do with your ancestors at all. Now, sure, you can argue that, oh, I got bad genetics, I didn't get the lucky draw, blah, 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 and it's way harder for me, but to be honest, who cares whose fault it is at that point, right? You're given one body, and you just gotta work with what you got, right? So even if you have to work 5 times harder than the other person who's blessed with godly genetics, you gotta do what you gotta do, alright? What are you gonna do? Swap bodies? And to be honest, I really hate this trend of, like, taking all your problems and dumping it on someone else. Like, she legitimately looked for anyone to dump it on. There was nothing in front of her because, you know, her brain was still operating a little bit, and she's like, I can't really blame anyone next to me, so I'm gonna go back hundreds and hundreds of years and blame my ancestors' conquerors or something like that. I mean, it's pretty sad that you can pretty much say this stuff, like, unironically. Like, unless your hands and legs are chained and you're unable to exercise and someone is force-feeding you McDonald's every day, you don't really have anyone else to blame but yourself.
Tobacco and dyes and opioid, things like that, and that destroyed the fertility of my country. And then, if that didn't happen, and if they didn't exploit and extract resources until my ancestors were left with nothing to eat, we wouldn't move to this grain-heavy, very little nutritious diet that we have today.
Okay, who is we here? Are you talking about the entire Indian race? 1 billion people? I don't think they're on the same diet as you. Correct me if I'm wrong. Also, how would you even know that the Indian diet is unhealthy, considering there's several different subcultures, each with unique diets of their own, okay? There's nothing like, okay, this type of diet is unhealthy. Sure, there may be plenty of unhealthy food available, but there's always healthier choices. It's literally your choice what you choose to put in your mouth, okay? You've never seen a fit Indian person, all 1 billion people are just fat because of their diet? I mean, obviously you can argue that some cultures' diets are better than others. For example, in Japan, a lot of people are thin. In the US, a lot of people are obese because there's a bunch of, fast food places everywhere. But that's still not an excuse. There's always healthier options available. It's like pretty much right next to the unhealthy option in the store. I mean, if we were really being honest, everything that you put in your mouth is pretty much up to you, okay? Like, everything is your decision. There's plenty of healthy, nutritious, healthy Indian food out there. I don't know why you're acting like the entire race is just force-fed unhealthy grains.
Ancestors were left with nothing to eat, we wouldn't move to this grain-heavy, very little nutritious diet that we have today. Also, if white people didn't come to the Indian subcontinent, then my ancestors would not go through 50 small, medium, large famines in a period of 200 years.
Funny how that works. Your hardworking ancestors literally got through famine, allowing you to even exist today. And what do? You with this wonderful life you've been given, you go on the TikTok platform and complain about how despite having every single resource to get what you want, you still somehow manage to blame them from hundreds of years ago. It's pretty simple. You don't have good self-control. I totally understand. It's hard, okay? But I won't be blaming my ancestors for it.
And in 1943, nearly 3 million people would not have died due to starvation and malnutrition. And if that didn't happen, then this entire place and the people of this place would not adapt to survive on lower calories. We also wouldn't biologically be programmed to hold on to more fat because my genes, they always think, okay, you're gonna die.
Can we just establish that whatever genes you have, none of them put food into your mouth? I don't know what kind. Is Gene a guy standing right next to me putting some food in my mouth? I don't see him. Okay? And listen, you can have bad genetics, okay? Maybe it's harder for you to get fitter. Maybe your body stores a lot of fat. You know, there's different body types. Nobody is denying that type of stuff doesn't exist. Maybe it's 5-10 times harder for you to get as fit as another person. But they at least are trying. You have just completely given up. Like, if you actually put effort into improving yourself every day, even if you're the most obese person on earth right now, but you're putting in effort to improve every day and, you know, become a healthy person, 100,000% respect to you, okay? But zero respect to you, because instead of improving on yourself, you've just blamed people from hundreds of years ago. Like, I genuinely don't get this genetics argument ever, because first off, I got some horrible ass genetics, gave me a disease, blah blah blah. But I know that if I train like Dwayne The Rock Johnson every single day, I'm gonna be looking like Dwayne The Rock Johnson, okay? Doesn't really matter about my genetic. Okay, he does take some stuff, but alright, even if he didn't, okay, trains goddamn hard. Let's just be honest here. It's an excuse. It's a pathetic excuse, okay? You're saying this stuff because you don't want to put in the work, okay? You're acting like a victim, so you take no responsibility, which is pretty much what everybody does nowadays. Guess what? If you got bad genetics, you just gotta work harder than everybody around you. Simple as that.
Wouldn't biologically be programmed to hold on to more fat because my genes, they always think, okay, you're gonna die. At some point, there's gonna be a famine, you will not have food, and you're gonna die. I would also not be prone to diabetes, high blood pressure, heart diseases, and all that other things. So yeah, white people is the reason why I can't lose weight.
Bruh.
Oh, the middle finger at the end is just the cherry on top over there. Just like, screw the world, screw everybody, screw white people, screw my ancestors and their conquerors, screw everybody. But not me, alright? I'm the only good one here. I'm the only one who's working hard every day to get out my TikTok content complaining about my life. So I just got like a really genuine question here, right? Let's consider alternate world B, okay? An alternate reality in which instead of filming this TikTok and completely embarrassing yourself on the internet and the entire Indian race, by the way, my god, you are a disgrace. What if you instead went to the gym and started eating healthy? I don't know. Maybe that would be a more productive hobby. It's such a meme that this person exists at all, you know, just blaming absolutely anyone and everyone but herself. Even if these ancestral white people were the source of all your problems, who cares, okay? It's the hand you've been given, so why don't you maximize your potential? Why don't you work hard every day? You know, you exercise, you eat healthy for the next 2 years, and then come back to me and say, oh wow, I noticed absolutely zero changes. Then you can blame genetics, but scientifically, that's not gonna happen, okay? I get it, man. Life's pretty unfair. You might be like, oh, but my friends eat the exact same thing as me, but I'm fat and they're not. Well, tough luck, all right? Do what you gotta do. All right, moral of the story, subscribe to Pegasus and take goddamn responsibility for your life.